Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Students, we have a very special guest during our story reading session today. We have Bachar Houli from the Richmond Football Club. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Ilim College, Bachar.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thanks for having me. It's always a great pleasure visiting all Islamic schools, but in particular this great school, Ilim College. I've been working with for I think 14 or 15 years since I first started playing football. So it's always a pleasure, I hope you enjoy the book.
Thank you for joining us today, Bachar. It's a great honour having you at Ilim College, and thank you for being available today for this story reading session that I'm sure all our students will enjoy. Shall we start the story?
Let's get into it.
Do you want me to toss up a coin to find out who reads the story first, or are you happy for me to...
I'm happy for you to choose which side you want to go.
Okay.
So,
all right.
You want to start?
Okay, I'll start off with them. Okay. All right. When we look at the front cover, we can actually see a man and a child, and they're wearing their footy colours. It looks like they are walking to the footy, and well, that must be the father and the son, and they're wearing their team colours, red and white, which means that they are Sydney Swan supporters. Well, okay, and the name of the story is, or the title of the story is, Why I Love Footy. The author is Michael Wagner and illustrator Tom Jallett. Let's start and find out what happens in the story. Well, in the index pages we can see all the team colours. I'm going to look and try and find Bachar's team. There we are, the Tigers, the yellow and the black, and my team, the Blues, where are they? There they are, navy and white.
Nowhere to be seen, the Blues, of course.
Yeah, and
it's good you spotted it. So.
Yeah, the Richmond have really pounced on us the last 5 or 6 years, and we haven't beaten Richmond for a long, long time. You're not going to pounce on me, are you?
No, I'm not.
And raw.
Keep going.
Okay, we could actually see in the index pages there a picture of scoring. A goal is scored when the ball goes in between the two big posts, and a point is awarded when the ball hits the big post or goes in between the big and the small posts. And Bachar has actually scored some goals. Playing as a defender, you've actually scored, I think, about over 30 goals.
Yeah, I think about 42 goals to be more exact.
Fantastic. There are a bazillion reasons to love footy. These are just my biggest ones. I love getting ready for the game. I put on my jumper, I grab my cap, my mum helps me with my scarf. Getting to the game is fun. We drive to the station and catch the train. Me, mum, dad and my big sister stick close together. Everyone in the train is excited about the footy. There we are, all the people getting ready to hop onto the train and make their way to the game. They're probably going to the MCG, or who knows, maybe SCG, knowing that Sydney home ground is the SCG. Walking to the ground is a big hurry. Dad buys a footy record. It has all the plays in it. There's a page to write down the goals. Dad knows just where to sit. We like it on the wing and right up close. They like sitting on the wing, which is around here, the middle of the ground. There they are. Let's just read what they're saying in the speech marks. We might even be able to hear the players. I hope so. The mascots are funny, but our mascot is the funniest. Where is the Sydney Swans mascot? Let's have a look. There we are. It is a really funny mascot, a big swan there. Now, Bachar, where is your mascot? The Richmond Tigers. There we are. There's a tiger.
Right on top.
Yes, that's right. That's probably because you won the premiership in 2017 and 19. There's my team, Carlton. We also have the Hawks. We have a lot of Essendon supporters at Ilim, as well as Collingwood here, the Magpies. When the banner is up, we sing our team song. I know all the words now, so the players are getting ready to start the game and they're going through the banner. Bachar, you've done that over 200 times. How's it feeling? How do you feel when you run through that banner, getting ready for a game? There must be a lot of excitement.
Yeah, there is. It's probably one of the best time of the game, apart from winning the game and singing the song together with the team. But going through the banner, I don't know why they make it so big, because we only kind of damage literally probably 1/10 of the banner. But it looks pretty. It's always got beautiful messages. For example, when I played my 200th game, it was a massive congratulations to Bachar Houli 200th game, which felt very, very special. So it does feel great.
Every week we play a different side. When the umpire holds up the ball to start the game, it is so exciting. I can hardly sit on my seat. So there we are, the umpire, the whistle in his mouth, is holding the ball. When the siren goes, he'll bounce the ball and the game will commence. Well, how was the feeling? Just go back to 2017, 2019 grand finals. The umpire has got the ball in his hand. You've got a capacity crowd at the MCG, 100,000 people. How is it feeling? I'm sure the atmosphere is electric. Probably a lot of nerves, a lot of butterflies in your stomach. How is that feeling, Bachar?
Yeah, it is a very nervous time, particularly when you all week you prepare for a big game and full of excitement, full of nerves at the same time. But once that bounce is gone, it feels great, because what happens is all the nerves go away, and then you just focus on the game and try to do your best to kick as many goals and obviously save as many goals as well. So yeah, it's a great feeling.
I love to see our team kick goals. What a shot! Best goal ever! I don't believe it!
Do you kick many goals?
We play footy here and there with some friends and family, and we do kick goals sometimes. And I actually played during my high school years, and I kicked a few goals as well, playing there on the wing, the centre, as well as the forward line. Yeah, it's a great feeling when you score a goal.
It is. It's a great feeling, especially when you play down in defence. We don't get the opportunity to kick many goals. For those who play in defence, it's like growing up, all you want to do is play in the forward line. And I remember when I was young, I played in the forward line and I kicked plenty of goals. Actually, I remember when I was playing under 14s, I kicked 20 goals in one game and 10 behinds, so I missed 10. And then the next week I kicked 19 goals and 7 behinds. So I kicked 39 goals in 2 games, and that brought me to my 100th goal in 12 games. So it was pretty exciting. But now I don't get to kick many goals. But you know what? As long as we get the win, that's the most important thing.
And especially if it's a grand final and your premiers, that is very, very special. Not many players experience that, Bachar, and you've experienced that 2 times. Yeah. So, mashallah, alhamdulillah, that's a great, great feeling.
Exactly right. And you've mentioned a beautiful word, alhamdulillah. Praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything. And that's the way we should live our life. Always have that in the back of your mind, because the reality is nothing is possible, nothing is permitted without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will. So make sure you continuously use that word, and God will bless you.
Inshallah. And I love the tackles. Got him. Oh, that was awesome, Dad. How quick is he? Yes. At half time, we need a rest from all the action and some tasty food. And you'll find that when you go to the footy at half time, you'll see the children play as part of the little league. And here it's half time, where they're having a break, having some food and drinks, while the children are playing a match. Chips are my favourite. I put tomato sauce on mine. My big sister likes nuggets best. When we're full, the game starts again. Let's see what kind of food people eat at the footy. A very popular one is the meat pie, chips, Chico roll, hot dog, sausage roll, tea, coffee, gözleme, that is one of my favourites, nuggets, donuts. Bachar, do you actually have a favourite dish or food?
I'm looking at all that, and I crave all this type of food, but make sure it's halal. Hey, the good thing is a lot of venues now, like the MCG, Marvel Stadium, have got halal food, so you've got an option. And you know what's even better? When you grow up a little bit older and you start praying 5 times a day, hopefully you do, but you also get the opportunity to pray at the football. Now I remember, probably, when I was growing up, there was no prayer room at the football. So when it came to halftime, we had to pray, we had to leave and go into the car park. Today, the game is so inclusive and it's provided us a nice prayer room and also halal food. I do love a meat pie though.
You actually initiated that prayer room. May Allah reward you for that. Now, it is half time at the footy. We're about halfway at the story. I think I'm going to turn over the page. I'm going to handball it over to Bachar. Bachar, you're going to continue with the story, inshallah?
I was, but you know what? I've changed my mind because I like the way you read. I'm happy for me to continue to comment about the book and you read. You know, there's a saying, play to your strengths. Okay, and what that means is that you stick to what you're good at. So, for example, I kick the ball really well. All right, you read really well. I don't read really well. So you know what? You're going to play to your strengths by reading the book, and I'm going to comment about the book. How's that? So I'm going to handball it back to you.
Okay, so the ball's in my court again. It's back over to me. No worries. Big marks are the most amazing thing of all. Did you see that? What a specky. I've seen millions of unbelievable speckies. Bachar, I've seen you take some speckies during your playing days, and I think last year there was also another special mark that you took. You've probably taken some really, really big marks and some speckies. Can you maybe tell us about one specky that you took that is still in your mind?
Now, I don't really take mini speckies. I take good marks, but guess what? I've actually had a big specky taken on me, and it was one of the Sydney Swans players. Back in 2011, I had Adam Goods, who is a champion of the game. He actually sat on my neck. Now, mind you, I'm not really that tall, but he sat on my neck, took one of the greatest marks of all time. So I remembered to be a guy that gets speckied on. So for me, I don't really take mini speckies, but I do take some really courageous marks sometimes. But if I had the ability to take good speckies, I would love to, because it feels good, almost as good as, probably better than kicking a goal.
When the game is nearly over and you still don't know who is going to win, it gets so scary. I can't look. Oh no. How do you feel on the ground when it's a close game, Bachar? There's only a kick in it and there's only a few minutes left to end the game. How is that feeling? Do you have an extra sort of energy level there, or how do you feel during that time?
It's I must admit, as time has gone on, I've learned to relax a little bit more, and football is a mental game. Yes, it involves you moving and being good physically, but also it's mentally taxing on the body. So when it's a close game, you feel like your body goes really like inward. You start to stiffen up, and you feel like when you've got nerves, you feel like everything's on your shoulders. But the good thing is, when things get tight, and I've been in a lot of games have been tight and have been on both ends. We've lost many, but I can sure say that I've won a lot, because our team has been more relaxed and calm within the moment. And you find that the team that is more relaxed generally wins the game. So Take a nice deep breath in, breathe out, and treat it as a normal game and a normal moment of the game.
Thank you, Bachar. Winning is the greatest feeling of all. Everyone gives me a high five. We all sing the club song. I feel proud. Losing is not good. Sometimes I cry. But then Dad hugs me and says, "There's always next week, son." And soon I feel better again. We have a kick after the game. My big sister is way too rough. I run around Dad. He tries to catch me. I always get away. But Mum can catch me. She's a good tackler. So there we are after the game. A lot of the people are out on the ground and they're playing kick to kick. I remember when I was a child, after a game, we'd go out onto the field and play kick to kick with my brother and my friends. And that was a great experience. Did you used to do that too when you were a child, Bachar?
I did, and that was my favourite part of the game. Yes, I used to enjoy watching the game, but I used to always go to a game with a football in my hand and hug it and not let anyone touch it, because the moment that siren went and we were allowed to go on that field, I was the first one racing to get to the centre circle. So very, very exciting times. I don't know if they actually still allow it these days, because mind you, after I finish my game, I just jump in my car and go home. But it is a very, very special feeling. Mind you, I've got a young daughter, and before my 200th game, she went in the club rooms, and then she grabbed my boots, and she's grabbing the grass. She goes, "Oh," and she's smelling the grass. She goes, "This is so cool. Like, I've just touched the grass." I said, "Daughter, be patient, because next week you're actually going to run out on the ground." So she goes, "Really?" I'm like, "Yes." And she ran through the banner, which was very, very special. Sorry, I don't try to, I didn't want to make you feel like you're different, but my daughter loved that feeling. I gave her the experience, but I just remembered when I was young, that feeling of hugging the ball, okay, and not wanting anyone to touch it, just to run out on the ground and kick the football. Great feeling.
How many children do you have, Bachar?
I've got 2 girls and I've got a boy on the way about 3 weeks away. So
Mashallah, mashallah.
2 3/4, we call it.
May Allah bless the whole family.
Inshallah.
On the train home, I listen to all the fans. Sometimes they're saying how we can get better. I try hard to understand. On the car radio, they say who the best players were. That's what I thought too. When we get home, I sit on the floor with my footy cards. We watch the game all over again, but this time they watch the game from the TV. I tried to spot us in the crowd. We were about there. There we are, so they can see themselves on TV during the replay of the game.
Have you ever seen yourself on TV?
I have seen myself on TV. Yeah. Yes, I
Nice.
have. Yeah, it is
I have
a
as
good
well.
feeling.
A couple of times.
You probably see yourself at least once a week.
Probably at least,
Bachar.
Yeah, I remember when I was young, I actually see myself on TV. Mind you, when I was young, my parents didn't really want us to go to the football. They were a bit more strict on us. It's different today. Thank God you guys got parents today that understand and go to the footy with you. My parents didn't really want nothing to do with football. And I remember early on, we'd go to the MCG and sit so far high up, like next to the light globes. Pretty much changing light globes, as they say. Why? Because we were scared if Mum would see us on TV. How funny, eh? Mum would never watch a game, but we were still scared. So, look, times have changed, and parents are very supportive, which is always exciting.
Absolutely. At bedtime, Dad and I have one last chat about the game. I hope we win the granny. Me too. When the lights is out, I dream about my favourite players and how we might win the premiership one day. And Bachar's actually done that twice. And how I might grow up to be a great footy player too. So that's why I love footy and I always will. that year they were the premiers. So that would have been a few years ago, the Sydney Swans. That's the end of the story. Thank you for joining us and for reading Aloud with me. That was a really enjoyable session. Thank you, Bachar, for being part of our story reading session. Is there any message that you like to give to our students to finish off our video recording today?
Yeah, absolutely. There's always a nice message that I like to send out to all the youth out there. Motivation to everyone, or my point of that I want to get across is there's nothing wrong with football, there's nothing wrong with soccer, but we're talking about footy today. And if you're not involved in a sport, please get involved in a sport, because it keeps you healthy, it keeps you fit, and it also helps you to stay focused and concentrated at school. So when you go out there and stay active, it makes you a better student. So please do not be lazy, do not lock yourself up in the room, okay, and play PlayStation and Xbox and cards and these type of things too much. Yes, you can do it a little bit, but always, okay, I encourage you to get out and stay active, because an active body is a healthy mind. And when your mind is healthy, you're going to do much better at school, okay? And always remember to put a smile on your face.
Great advice there, Bachar. Thank you so much. May Allah reward you. Well, that's the end of our reading session today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sure you have. We'll catch up with you, inshallah, next week with another reading session. Assalamu alaikum to you all. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon us all.